Imam Ali AS said that when you want to test the inner vessel of a person, give them more respect than you give yourself, and if their vessel is noble they will honor you in return, and if their vessel is small they will assume they are above you. Today we reflect on this timeless wisdom and turn it into a living script for the heart, for the mind, and for daily life. We start with a simple picture. A marketplace of human dealings where every step is an exchange of regard, where every greeting is a measure of the soul. In this marketplace we have two kinds of travelers. One carries a wide vessel. The other holds a shallow cup. Both meet the same people and both are presented with the same offer. More respect than they expect. The first traveler receives this offering and says within the self, I have been honored beyond measure and I must return honor with honor, and so he answers with gentleness and lifts the one who lifted him. The second traveler receives the same offering and thinks, I must be higher already, and the giver is lower, and so he grows hard, he grows demanding, he grows blind to the balance of justice. This teaching is not only a test of others, it is also a mirror for the self. When you are lifted, how do you respond? Do you rise with humility or do you rise with pride? Do you become a shelter for the hand that helped you, or do you become a storm that bruises the giver? Everyday life hands us small laboratories where we can observe this truth. A colleague praises your work more than you thought you deserved. A neighbor thanks you with warmth beyond what you were expecting. A student looks at you with admiration. A child sees you as a hero. In these moments you are being measured by your response. If you carry a wide vessel, you will say thank you from the depth of the heart, then you will search for a chance to give back, you will spread credit, you will open doors for others, you will protect the dignity of the ones who have raised you up. If you carry a narrow vessel, you will think the praise is proof of your own greatness, you will hoard the credit, you will push others aside, you will treat the giver as a servant, not as a partner. The lesson continues. Respect is not a currency that runs out when shared. Respect multiplies by the very act of giving. It is like a lantern lighting another lantern. The first flame does not grow weaker. The space only grows brighter. So give respect freely. Give it before it is demanded. Give it to the young and to the old. Give it to the learned and to the learner. Give it to the wealthy and to the poor. Give it to the one who is present and to the one who is absent by speaking well of them. When respect is given beyond the measure, the hidden letters of the soul appear. The noble one becomes more noble. The small one reveals their smallness. Now consider the path of leadership. There is a leader whose power comes from the seat, and there is a leader whose power comes from the heart of the people. The first clings to rank and orders others to show regard. The second pours regard on others and is carried by them without force. When you give more honor than you receive, you are acting like the second kind of leader. You are planting seeds of loyalty, of friendship, of trust. Those seeds will grow into a shelter that will not fall when the wind rises. How can we practice this wisdom with discipline? Begin with the speech of the tongue. Speak to each person by name. Let your tone be gentle and clear. Allow others to finish their words. Do not cut their lines. Do not shrink their stories. Look at those who serve you and thank them. Look at those who teach you and thank them. Look at those who disagree with you and thank them for the chance to sharpen your thought. Then move to the speech of the hands. Open doors for others. Share credit for successes. Give space for others to be seen. If you are praised, pass the light to the team that helped you. If you are given a platform, invite another voice to join you. If you are given guidance, pass that guidance to those who come after you. Next, move to the speech of the heart. Pray for the people around you. Wish for them what you wish for yourself. Protect their dignity in your absence. If someone stumbles, cover the stumble and offer a hand. If someone rises, celebrate their rise and refuse jealousy. A vessel expands when it carries gratitude. A vessel shrinks when it carries envy. This rule does not change. Now we turn to the test mentioned by the Imam. When you give extra honor, you are setting a stage. You are placing a mirror in front of another soul. They can see who they are and you can see it as well. If they are noble, they will be humbled by the gift. They will return the gift. They will not attempt to stand on your back. They will invite you to share the higher ground together. If they are not noble, they will wear the gift like a false crown. They will try to speak over you. They will try to claim your work as theirs. They will try to turn friendship into domination. When you witness this, you have learned something precious without a long argument. You have learned that this is not a well from which you should drink again. You can step back with dignity. You can guard your energy and your time. You can continue to give honor, but with wisdom and distance. This is how respect becomes a compass. It points you to safe companions. It warns you away from storms. It preserves your peace without malice. There is still more to harvest from this teaching. Think about family. Within a home, the moments of honor are small but full. A spouse brings water after a long day. A parent listens to a story told with stumbling words. A child offers a drawing with awkward lines. How do we respond? The wide vessel says, thank you, my heart is refreshed, thank you, your story matters, thank you, your art is beautiful because it is yours. The narrow vessel says, this is not enough, or this is not good, or I deserve more. The home of the wide vessel becomes a garden. The home of the narrow vessel becomes a desert. Now think about community life. There are elders who have carried heavy loads. There are workers who lift what others cannot see. There are seekers who arrive with little knowledge but with bright sincerity. The community that gives honor widely becomes strong. The community that withholds honor grows brittle and filled with suspicion. Honor is a shield against division. Honor is the language of mercy turned into daily manners. Let us speak about the workplace. You can test a culture by how it treats the quiet member of the team. Do they receive thanks for their steady work? Do they receive space to rest and to grow? Do the leaders share praise, or do they hoard it? Offer more honor than is expected and you will see the truth of the culture quickly. If it is noble, it will reflect that nobility back. If it is small, it will attempt to use your generosity without gratitude. The same test applies to learning. A teacher gives extra respect to a student. The noble student becomes more diligent and more respectful to peers. The small student becomes arrogant and begins to belittle others. The teacher now knows how to guide each one with the right medicine. We continue to weave this into a guide for the soul. Rise each morning and set an intention. Today I will give honor before it is asked. Today I will watch my reactions when I am honored. If I feel pride, I will replace it with gratitude. If I feel entitlement, I will replace it with service. If I feel jealousy when others are honored, I will turn that feeling into a prayer for their increase and a plan to improve myself. At night, review the day. Where did I elevate someone? Where did I shrink someone? Where did I accept honor with humility? Where did I act as if the honor were a throne? Ask for forgiveness where you failed and tomorrow try again. Change happens by steady drops of water wearing a path in stone. Be patient with your growth. Be patient with the growth of others. Remember that the Imam does not call us to be foolish. Honor is given with wisdom. You are not required to accept humiliation. You are not required to feed the pride of the proud. You are asked to test with kindness and to act on what the test reveals. When you find a noble vessel, keep them close. Invest in that friendship. Build projects together. Stand for each other in absence and in presence. When you find a small vessel, keep your distance with courtesy and do not let bitterness enter your heart. Wish them growth and guard your peace. The harvest of this path is wide. You will gain allies who are trustworthy. You will attract opportunities that match your character. You will sleep with a light heart because you did not steal anyone's dignity. And you will live with confidence because you know how to see the truth without cruelty. Let us paint a story. A young professional enters a new office. On the first day, an older colleague gives him a tour and speaks warmly of the team. The young man decides to honor the colleague beyond measure. He thanks him publicly at the first meeting. He writes a note to the manager mentioning the help he received. He brings tea the next day as a sign of regard. What happens next is the test. If the colleague is noble, he smiles and says, you did not have to do this, and he uses his influence to open doors for the young man. He introduces him to others and shares tips that will save months of effort. If the colleague is small, he grows possessive. He begins to demand credit for work that is not his. He starts to speak over the young man in meetings. Within a week, the truth has appeared and the young man can act with clarity. He can invest more in the noble colleague. He can set boundaries with the small one. He has avoided months of confusion because he used the coin of honor as a test. Another story. A student writes to a teacher with gratitude that overflows. The teacher has a choice. If the teacher is noble, he replies with warmth, he gives more guidance, and he reminds the student that all good flows from the Most High. If the teacher is small, he begins to collect followers like gems, and he tightens control and he discourages independent thinking. The student now knows how to proceed. Stay where the honor returns as humility and step away where the honor returns as control. We must also test ourselves in reverse. When someone beneath our rank honors us, do we grow taller in kindness or taller in self-importance? When someone above our rank honors us, do we cling to them as a ladder or do we stand beside them as a partner who serves the greater good? When a stranger honors us, do we see a human soul or do we see a tool to be used? Answer honestly. Where the answer hurts, let that pain be a messenger. Greatness is not a medal. Greatness is the ease with which you can carry the dignity of others. Greatness is the calm that descends when your heart is free of the need to feel superior. Greatness is the habit of returning every gift as a greater gift. Here is a set of practices you can start today. Greet first and greet with light in the eyes. Listen longer than you speak. Thank twice, once in public and once in private. Credit the absent when you benefit from their work. Refuse to speak ill of those who are not present. If you receive praise, redirect part of it to the team. If you make a mistake, admit it swiftly and make amends. If you rise, lift someone with you. If you are treated with contempt, do not mirror it. Respond with calm and remove yourself from harm. Store these practices in your daily calendar. Set reminders until they become the rhythm of your character. Soon your vessel will expand. You will feel it. You will have more room for the storms of life. And you will have more room for joy. The wisdom of the Imam is a compass not only for personal dealings but for the building of just societies. A just society honors the widow, the orphan, the worker, the scholar, the artist, the farmer, the healer, the guard, the cleaner, the driver, the teacher, the student, the neighbor from another land. A just society tests itself by giving more honor than expected and watching how power responds. If power becomes more gentle, then the path is sound. If power becomes more proud, then reform is needed. Carry this message into your circle. Teach it to your friends by your actions before your words. Show it to your children by the way you speak to strangers. Demonstrate it to your team by how you share victory and how you handle defeat. Day by day your world will become a mirror of this wisdom. Day by day your vessel will widen. And when others look at you, they will feel safe to be human. They will feel safe to offer their best. They will feel safe to grow. Because you gave them more honor than they expected, and you did it for the sake of truth. In the end we return to the first line. To test a person, give them more respect than you give yourself. The noble will honor you back. The small will see themselves as above you. Let this guide your choices. Let this purify your heart. Let this protect your steps on the roads of life. And let this make your home, your work, your friendships, and your worship places where dignity is the air that everyone breathes.